Hello there, I'm Rodrigue Delrue, community developer on Crusader Kings 3, and welcome to our January video update in our new sound and streaming studio here. Today is going to be a very meaty update in which we are going to discuss one of the most vastly improved features of Crusader Kings 3, and that is the lifestyle system, its perk trees and its attached focuses. And I'm going to step into that room and have a chit chat with Alexander Altner, game designer for the game, and we're going to have a talk about the lifestyle system in general and what has changed since CK2. Follow me.
The lifestyles in CK3 are very different from those in CK2. There are one lifestyle per skill category, and each of them contain 3 different skill trees. When you pick a focus, you start gaining experience in the lifestyle the focus belongs to. Experience is gained passively over time, and when you have enough experience, you can spend that on unlocking a point. So the perks in the trees unlock various different bonuses, from minor modifiers to decisions you can take. The final perk in each tree always unlocks a trait and gives you a very significant bonus. Your education quality will affect how well you can accumulate experience in your chosen lifestyle when you are an adult. So when you conquer some territory and you get a bunch of titles to hand out, you can give them to older characters and they will unlock perks based on their education. Sometimes you end up in a situation where you have perks you do not particularly like. You can reset those perks and spend them in, let's say, the gallantry. And when you get the perks matter a lot, because getting a certain perk tree when you're young might give you more opportunities than when you're old. You can choose to reset your perks once every life, but when you do so, you will get a massive spike of stress.
Alright, and now I'm going to have a chat with Sean, content designer here at Paradox, and we're going to talk about lifestyle events and how they affect gameplay when you're playing Crusader Kings 3. Join me.
So when you select a focus in Crusader Kings 3, you will start receiving events related to that focus and the lifestyle at large. Unlike Crusader Kings 2, all that is handled by the perk system in Crusader Kings 3, so now the events are a lot more freeform. If you get an event about collecting taxes, you'll have the option to be strict or lenient. You'll have choices about how brutal you are to people who don't or won't pay your taxes. So there's some advantages to each option, there's some disadvantages to each option. There's very rarely going to be an option that you pick every time because it's clearly the best option. As another example, if you pick the scholarship focus within the learning lifestyle, you'll start receiving ideas about different experiments you can run and books you can study, and your character sort of has to make a decision of how far do they stray from like official church doctrine and into more questionable experiments, which could increase their knowledge but might lead into the realm of heresy. The events will have a noticeable impact on your ruler and their reign. Another example of a focus you can pick and how that will affect your lifestyle is the temptation focus from within the intrigue tree. You can basically use it to manipulate people and get them to do favors for you. You can use it to sway people over to your side so that you have agents and people who are indebted to you when you need to call on them later. Or you can just use it because you want to run around seducing everyone and having a debauched hedonist lifestyle.
And finally, we are going to sit down with Peter, also content designer here at Paradox, and we are going to delve deeper into the Intrigue lifestyle, its perk trees and the attached focuses. Join me.
There is one lifestyle for each skill in the game, and each lifestyle has 3 different lifestyle focuses associated with it, and 3 different perk trees that you can gradually unlock perks from. The intrigue focuses are skullduggery, temptation, and the intimidation focus. The seduce scheme makes a return from CK2. Now it's a dedicated scheme that you can track the progress of. It takes more consideration of who the target is and who you are, and a lot of the events that can fire along the way focus on the interplay between your personalities and about making not just the right choices, but the right choices in regards to who they are. You might receive very hard rejects that will prevent you from attempting to seduce them again in the future, or they might even out you as a lecherous bastard for trying to seduce them despite their marriage status. It also aids your fertility and helps your seduction and lover relationships be more impactful. It also helps in less explicit ways by, for example, expanding your pool of potential targets by removing the incestuous penalty to schemes. It can also remove other soft blockers, such as the penalty for your own sexual preference being wrong. There is also a very convenient perk that makes it harder for lovers to join murder schemes against you, and also makes it so that lovers are more likely to get in the way of murder attempts. Not every love story has a happy ending. The final perk in the Seducer tree is Seducer, which grants you bonuses to your fertility, your success chances, and the attraction opinions of anyone who is unfortunate enough to have the correct gender and sexual orientation to potentially be attracted to you. Torture makes a return from CK2 as one of those iconic medieval pastimes. It's a great way for increasing your dread and your dreadfulness to make your vassals fear you. It has the added bonus of having a chance of giving up the target's secrets as they attempt to bribe you into letting them go. The downsides, unfortunately, also include the church disliking you in the form of piety loss and clergy opinion losses, unless, of course, you've done a little wiggling within your religion, so this kind of activity is encouraged rather than frowned upon. If you're not a particularly sadistic type, this kind of cruelty can really take a mental toll, so we've made sure to add in some perks that gives you bonuses from having high stress. The last perk in the torture tree is Torture. In addition to granting even further dread bonuses, it also grants prowess and levy bonuses. The Schemer tree grants various bonuses to your intrigue schemes. It also helps you and your spy master keep other people from murdering you or discovering your secrets. It also unlocks a couple of new schemes.
All right, and that is it for the January video update. I will catch you next month. In the meantime, if you want more information on the dev diaries that were published throughout the month of January, just click on the links below. I'll see you next month.